what's going Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Gore Pirates Dynasty. We're using the Oklahoma High School football mod and also here specifically on NCAA 14. And we are here today. We are just coming off of our biggest win of the season. We took down a top 5 team in the state of Oklahoma. And now we're looking to finish strong here. 2 games left in our season. And we're going to be looking to take on the Washington Warriors. Now, this Washington Warriors team has been disappointing. They were a top 25 preseason team. They're just at 500 right now, but they are a really good team though. They're a B- overall squad, B offense, B- defense, whereas we're a D offense and a D+ defense as well. So we're going to be outmatched in this game, but that hasn't stopped us from winning games yet this season. We still have not played a single game where we had the better team on paper, and yet here we are at 6-4 with 2 games left to go. So if we play to our scheme, we play to our strengths, we can put ourselves in a position to win this game yet again. So it should be a good one. I'm really excited about this particular game in as well, and I hope you guys are excited for it as well. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel. Let's not waste any more time, and let's see if we can get a road win at Washington High School within the state of Oklahoma. Let's get it. Alright boys, so let's go ahead and come out here and see if we can secure a win. We're actually going to pick things up with the Washington Warriors coming onto the field first as Kentrell, he's got plenty of time to drop back, tries, oh my god, he actually got that in. Oh, this might not be a great sign for us as Mason Singletary dots us up for 15. And now first drive of the game for Washington, they're looking to score, and man, they honestly should have. Cage Morris, he had a touchdown. He had his 12th touchdown of the season, but he drops it though. So 2nd and 10 now coming up as they'll go back to the ground game. Porter Winstrid is going to make the tackle, but it's going to be a very small 3rd down conversion coming up though, as you got a 3rd and 1 now coming up. As Kentrell is in the shotgun, we show that we thinking of that blitz, and it's going to be a halfback counter, but Porter Lindstrid blows it up in the backfield. Cole Scott had nowhere to go, and 4th down is going to be coming up, and it looks like after a false start penalty, the Warriors are going to settle for about a 52-yard field goal, and the field goal attempt, it is not going to be good, so our defense does hold up for now. You love to see that, but unfortunately offensively we have struggled coming out of the gate. We went 3 and out once again, so the Warriors come back out onto the field for another possession. It looks like they are just winning it in the trenches here early on, as Cole Scott for the most part has plenty of room to run. We'll see if they go back to him once again, but instead it's Norman out of the backfield motioning in, and Norman pushes forward for a gain of 12 yards on the play. His first carry does pick up a 1st down, as this motion triple option has been giving us some problems so far today, as Alexander all by himself out on the perimeter. 1 man left to beat, and it's going to be forced out of bounds eventually by Dalton Berestein. But Cooper Alexander with a big time run here, a 33-yard scamper. And once again, we see the Warriors in our territory. Can the Gore Pirate D hold up once again? Looking over to the right-hand side, and Cole Scott drops that pass. So now looking at a 3rd and long. Kentrell in the shotgun, an obvious passing situation. Kentrell drops back, tries to get it out to his receiver, but yet another drop. It means they're going to settle for yet another field goal. This one a little bit shorter. This one seems to be about 46 yards out. We'll see if he has the leg for it. He has the leg, but not the accuracy though. And once again, Washington's kicker is gonna sell out. So that means we still have a tie ball game at 0 apiece. But eventually, you would imagine that dam would burst one time or another. And it looks like the dam might be bursting soon as Scott out in open space. Really fortunate that was not a bigger game than what it was. But yeah, our offense is really struggling. They had 3 drives here today, and they have not gotten a single first down yet on any of those 3 drives so far. It has been a struggle as Cole Scott goes down awkwardly. He will remain in the game, though. He does a little bit of gymnastics. But that's the end of the first quarter, though. We have a defensive struggle here. 0-all. We need our offense to play a lot better and sustain drives, though, if we want to come out as winners. So here we are with a 2nd and 10 now coming up as Cantrell is going to run it up the gut for Scott. And Scott, for the first time, will get the Washington Warriors into the red zone. And we'll see if they can break the goose eggs for both teams. Second 2 plays later, Scott again getting another carry over to the right-hand side. And Porter Lindstrom might have saved a touchdown. But it is going to be a goal line situation. 1st and goal, Cantrell keeps it, and Cantrell finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown Warriors, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead here finally, here in the second quarter of action. So here we are back on the field once again as Caden Dolman is finally going to get a first down for us here. It took us 4 drives to do it, but hey, we finally are starting to find a little bit of a rhythm offensively. But let's go here. 1st and 10. Dolman looking over the middle of the field, trying to get that ball out, but it's incomplete. Caden Dolman has not had a lot of time here today. That's why we've struggled to put together any resemblance of an offense. So here we are. 3rd and 6 here. Dolman scrambling out to the left. He's got some space. Slides down wisely, though. And for the first time today, we are in Washington Warrior territory. The senior quarterback going to get settled back in. We're going to try to find Vita St. Louis on the handoff. And Vita St. Louis with a critical broken tackle. What was the difference between no game and that first down there? We might need a little bit more of that magic as we try to go on 3rd and 9. St. Louis. Oh, we could have had that block. That might have been a first down. But you know what? As the great Uncle Sam's once said, scared money don't make any money now. Let's see if we can fill that mantra. Dolman looks over the middle, finds the receiver Jackson Durant. We have not talked about him much this season, but he makes a critical catch that puts us not only in the red zone, but in a goal line situation. And Jody Gentry is going to finish the job. Touchdown Pirates. Jody Gentry, he's been asking for that ball the last few weeks, and he wins off the slant, letting it be known why he's the best receiver on that team. Let a naysayer know, as that will take us to our first studio update of this episode. Millwood, team that we will play soon, taking on Ada, a team we already went up against, and Millwood with a narrow 3-0 lead here. So a tied ball game with a few minutes left here in the first half. But Washington does get the ball to start the second half, so these few minutes are going to be critical as Cantrell will get it started with a read option. Nobody goes with him, so Major Cantrell will pick up the first down. But a couple of plays later, Cantrell will actually try to throw the ball, actually finds a man downfield, and Norman is not a normal man. Kane Norman will have his very first catch of the day. It goes for a gain of 15 yards on the play, and once again, Washington is putting together a pretty solid drive, and not a liquid or a gas either. 1st and 10 coming up as Cantrell tries to pitch it out on the speed option, but this time it gets snuffed out. Looks like Chase Henry is the man in the backfield that gets her done. And now this is what we want them to be in. Looks like Washington much more comfortable with running the ball than they are passing the ball. Very typical of your average high school offense, not just in the state of Oklahoma, but just seems like in general that seems to be the case, as they have struggled immensely on 3rd down conversions. 3rd and 6 coming up. They're going to try to set up the screen, and Simmons is going to pick it off for the races. Are we going to get a bigger boy touchdown? Yes, we will. Let's go, baby. That is Savion Simmons, the freshman, able to find a way to pick that pass off and find our way into the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates. And for the very first time today, thanks to that defensive tackle, Samian Simmons is going to have the lead for the first time today. And you know what? Next possession for Washington, we actually forced a 3 and out. So now we have a chance to add points onto the board. But then we might have done an oopsie. Oh no, Caden Doman, he had his man. But threw it short, so Elijah Gates is going to take full advantage there. So that does mean that, hey, Washington will take over. A chance to tie things up. Very next play, Roberts gets moved down into the motion as Kentrell drops back, looks around, faces some pressure. And that might be Zaire Joseph with the interception, the second one of the day. And yes, it is Zaire Joseph with a big-time grab as well. But unfortunately, we cannot take advantage. So that does mean that we go 3 and out once again. Defense really carrying us today. And that is apparent with, yes, another turnover. Porter Winstrid with the interception this time. These freshmen are stepping up and playing big-time varsity football right now. As for the third time today, Major Kentrell is intercepted. And we got a couple of timeouts that we have to work with too. 19 seconds remaining. Doman dropping back, faces a pressure, gets it out over the middle to Jody Gentry. We will take one of our timeouts. We have one to work through. As we're going to try to forward it down the field. Doman doesn't like what he sees. He's going to flip it out to Vita St. Louis, who drops it. Vita St. Louis drops it. You hate to see it. And now we're going to try to throw it again. Doman looks to the middle and finds Justin Credible with an incredible play downfield. Let's go, baby. And that does mean that we'll end up going for the field goal. Wanted to make sure that we are coming away with points there. As we do get another studio update, Ada is actually up on Mill 1, so that could be a little bit of an upset alert on the horizons. But Gore's playing really good football in that second quarter. We will take a 17-7 lead into the locker room. So here we go. The second half officially underway. As we get things started with, like I told you, Washington does get the ball to start the second half. We'll see what Washington can do with it in its very first possession here in that third quarter of action. And right away, they're going to deal with another third down. They have not yet converted a third down today. 0 for 4. But Kentrell is going to change it up by getting it out to Scott. And Scott will move the sticks for the Washington Warriors here at home. So the drive will continue after all as they get into their speed option attack. But Kentrell does not get that pass off at all. Chase Henry has thrived off of stopping those today. That is his third TFL today. He has been a problem, and he almost gets a fourth one, but that pitch actually does manage to get out. But it's going to be a third and long, though. 3rd and 9, to be exact. They got their previous third down conversion, but can they make it 2 in a row? Kentrell drops back to pass, facing some pressure, and Scott cannot bring it in. That pass will be incomplete, so the Washington Warriors will go ahead and punt this football away. But wait a minute, it's a fake, but the Pirates were ready for it. They rally to the ball, and your Gore Pirates are going to take over in phenomenal field position. He had nowhere to go. So we are starting on our own 45-yard line. Let's see if we can make something shake here as we start by running the ball with Vita St. Louis. Vita St. Louis will pick up a gain of 5 on the play. As now, 2nd and 5 coming up. Doman is going to run the ball downfield. He will move that ball a little bit forward in order to pick up that first down. So now, in Washington territory, looking to make it a commanding lead. We're going to find Feurenbacher downfield. He has a blocker, but he doesn't have the speed to get into the end zone. Don't really expect that out of our tight ends. Let's show our tight ends a little bit of love here, a little bit of play action here, and we find Joe Mitchell in the front of the end zone. The Gore Pirates will score yet again. So, a much more high-scoring game than what we're seeing out in Ada right now. Ada only up 13-9, not nearly as much scoring as we have in our game. But Owasso, who we actually play next week, they're taking on Sepulpa right now, and Owasso has a narrow 7-0 lead. We'll see if they remain ranked in the top 25. Actually, no, we played Owasso. We beat them. But if they can get a strong end to their season, that would really help with our strength of schedule. You would love to see that, as Cantrell is looking to run it out to the right-hand side. We'll go ahead and pick things right back up here, though. So here we are, 3rd and short. Again, another 3rd down. Washington struggling mightily so far today. Cantrell dropping back, looks over the middle, finds Morris, and Morris is going to pick up the 1st down. He gets his first catch of the day. He's been the most dynamic threat for Washington's passing game all year long. He's been quiet today, but finally making his presence felt, as Washington will continue as business as usual, trying to lean on that ground game. But the ground game is certainly working well for them, as Cox falls. Cox falls down. Oh, we could have had a tackle for loss if he actually stayed on his feet, but we don't necessarily have ballerinas. Those things can happen every once in a while. As Cantrell again looks over the middle, he'll pick up a 1st down. Good for a gain of 13 on the play, as it looks like we are at the end of the 3rd quarter. Your Gore Pirates are playing excellent football right now. Gore is going to take a 24-7 lead into that final quarter. Let's see if we can finish this job here. As we now in that 4th quarter of action, Cantrell is going to drop back to pass. Looks over the middle of the field. That is a dot to Mason Singletary. That is some confidence to throw 3 interceptions today and still throw that ball. That is some balls on that man. I'll tell you what, he certainly has the cojones. His offensive line might not have those same cojones. They got spooked on that play. So the false start is going to knock them back 5 more yards. They already had a slight loss in the last play too. So 3rd and 19. This drive could be stymied very quickly. As now, 3rd and long coming up. Cantrell dropping back. Looks over to right hand side, and Chad Morris drops it. Chad Morris not having a very good game today. And Washington will trot out their field goal unit to try to make this a 14-point game. Cut it down to just a couple of possessions. The kick is up, and this one will actually be good through the uprights. So, kicker is finally on the scorecard, is 1 for 3 on field goals. But we will still have a 2-possession lead. And we also have a chance to possibly take some time off the clock too, as they opted not to go ahead and go for the onside kick, as that might come back to haunt them, because that is what we strive in. We know how to run clock when we need to. That's why part of the reason why we've been so good this year, in spite of maybe that lack of talent that we have on paper. We just know how to play our scheme to a T so far. So here we are, 3rd and short coming up. This is a critical 3rd down. Going to try to do a cross play to the right. And Vita St. Louis gets the blocking that he's looking for. It's not a big run at all. Only a gain of 4, but more than enough to pick up the 1st down, though. As we'll keep things moving, trying to keep it on the ground, as Vita St. Louis is going to sidestep his way to nearly another 1st down. He's starting to heat up, and Washington realized that they're sending more people into the box, but it doesn't matter. They had 11 guys playing close to the line of scrimmage, and we still ran it on them, and we still pick up the 1st down. But eventually, we got to mix things up a little bit here. Doman looking, doesn't like what he sees downfield. He's going to slide. Although, I honestly thought if Doman really wanted to, he could have blasted that into the end zone too, if he followed his blockers a little bit better. But instead, going to be 1st and goal, and we're going to throw for it, and we will find the tight end. Jake Durant, our starting tight end. Haven't really seen him much this year, but here he is looking to make a big play. And he does by finding the end zone. Beautiful job on the play action, by the way. Really sucked in number 8, and that allowed Jake Durant to be open on that particular play. But that being said, the Warriors of Washington, they are a team that has some serious pride. They are not going to go down without a fight. 2nd and 10 now coming up as Kentrell drops back the pass, looks over to the left-hand side. He had a guy, but he was overthrown considerably. So now we're looking at a 3rd and 10 coming up. A big throw for Kentrell will be needed. Roberts gets motioned out over to the right-hand side, still kind of in the backfield. 5 feet for that extra protection, as it looks like it's going to be a screen. Cox is over it, and oh, Steve Cox, he does not have hands from Allstate because he drops that pass. You hate to see it. But 4th and 10, though, we will gladly take that, though, as I want to get some pressure on Kentrell, so he doesn't have a lot of time to process this. Needs some time to go ahead and get this pass off, but it's going to be a halfback screen. It's going to work this time around, as Justin Time can't beat his block. Edwin Waters is at least able to make a play, but oh, we got bamboozled on that halfback screen. That has been a screenplay that we have locked down all day. And to keep Washington alive, they run it on us again, and it actually works the 3rd or 4th time around. And we might be getting a little bit undisciplined here, as it looks like there is a roughing the passer penalty getting called on us as well. Cairo Cox has not been able to get to his quarterback all day today, and maybe feeling a little bit of frustration. Expected a little bit better from one of my seniors, but it is what it is, though, as Kentrell is going to throw it out to Offer, and I thought he completed the process of the catch, but the refs disagreed. It's going to be called an incompletion. Wow, that might have been a little bit of controversy there, but very next play, they'll go back to Braden Offer, and there's no controversy there this time around. He's open for the touchdown, and Major Kentrell, well, he finally does something other than throw an interception. He will actually have a passing touchdown on the board. But we will have some more studio updates, though, as this game is getting a lot more interesting all of a sudden. Millwood and Ada in a close one going into the final quarter, so we'll see if we get any more updates from that. Looks like Millwood might hang on and win. But if we can get this onside kick, it could be Barbecue Chicken and Danico Fala Jr. We have not said his name very much all day today, but Danico Fala Jr., when we need him to ice the game, he comes through in the clutch for your hands team, and that will seal the deal. The Gore Pirates are going to win once again. We're going to win 31-17. And a team that was one of the worst in the state of Oklahoma, Gore has been able to find a way to get things done. And they have been getting things done all season long. That is their 7th win of the year. And if we are not in that Coach of the Year hunt, we are going to throw some hands, because we have done an excellent job with this football team. So another dominating game for your Gore Pirates as they continue to go ahead and roll here. They get things taken care of once again, getting a big time win over Washington, and now a 7-4 record in year number 1. I'll say that's pretty darn good. Now, offensively, it was a little bit of an inconsistent day, though. Caden Doman wasn't the most efficient, but he found a way into the end zone, though. 8 for 15, 118 yards. Did throw 3 touchdowns, but had that 1 interception towards the end of the first half. As for our ground game was okay. It wasn't excellent. Vita St. Louis had 74 yards on the ground, and then Caden Doman also had 64 total yards on the ground as well. Receivers, therefore, did not get a lot of chances to catch the ball. Matter of fact, the only person that had more than 1 catch today was Jody Gentry, who had 2 catches, 19 yards, and a touchdown. But we had a couple of other people get into the end zone. Jake Durant found the end zone, and then Joe Mitchell also found the end zone as well. Shout out to Ryan Fuhrenbacher as well, who was able to find a way to lead the team in receiving yards here today. Now, our defense was definitely dominant again, and it's arguably the best day that this defense had all year long. While it might not completely show on the scoreboard, we forced 3 turnovers. That is the first time all year that we forced multiple turnovers. Shout out to Porter Winstrad, who is definitely the defensive player of the game in my opinion. He had 10 tackles, so he was flying all over the field, Plus, he had an interception as well, which you love to see. Adrian Waters and Jared Jackson both put up pretty good efforts as well. However, ironically, we did not end up sacking the quarterback today. We did not get a single sack, but we did get those interceptions though. How about Samian Simmons, the big fella that is just 15 years old, is able to get a 49-yard interception, took it back to the crib for his first career touchdown. And then Zaire Joseph was also able to get an interception as well. Honestly, should have had a second one. He did drop a second interception, which I'm not sure if I showed or not, but Zaire Joseph was extremely close getting some interceptions as well. Very good game for our team, and I'm so glad that we're back on a winning streak. Now, a handful of you guys did ask me about what the conference standings were looking like, and going into the final week, I wanted to show you, since I just now saw that particular comment. So, the conference that we're in does have divisions, but the division names honestly need to be cleaned up a little bit, which is something I want to do in the offseason. So this is a conference that we're in, the 4A, the other 4A conference, right? And we're actually doing pretty good. We're sitting in 4th place overall. We're not in a position to go to a conference championship game, or I guess it would be the sectional championships, right? But Edmond Santa Fe is up there. They are a top 10 team after not even being ranked in the top 25, so that's a big deal. And then they'll likely take on either Olaso, who we beat, or Millwood. And Millwood, we have a chance to play spoiler because we actually do play these guys in the very next episode, and they already do. Actually, no, they might not need. Okay, they actually will need some help because they did lose to Olaso earlier in the year. They lost 35 to 14. So, that being said, what we have planned for the next episode, we will have our final game of the season. We will take on Millwood. And in this game, I definitely want to make sure that we get our seniors in there, so that they get a chance to get some playing time. Probably do one of those, like, first drive. We'll have, like, the seniors that typically don't play, they'll get a chance to start, right? So that's our plan for this one. Should be a good one against Millwood. Millwood is an extremely good team. Should be an exciting matchup to close out the regular season. And I hope you guys are excited for it as well. If you are, go ahead and smack that like button for me, as that helps me out with that vaunted YouTube algorithm. And also hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. Hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.